Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, yes, yes.
We are back in the saddle.
Happy New Year.
Yes, happy 2023.
Yes,
I ain't seen
yes.
y'all since last year.
You sure haven't. Yeah.
Well, y'all ain't seen me since last
That's
year.
right. You've been working remotely.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
How
New Year.
amazing.
New Year, new day, new time.
Yes, here we are. We are here. Today is January 25th. 2023. I am Hyacinth Henderson here with my father, Mr. Robert Henderson Jr.
Yes, 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 yes. How you guys doing? We got a great show lined up for you today. Always something on your mind. What's on your mind? Always thought provoking, because you know that it's all about the mind, right? It's what you're thinking. What are you doing? You know, where are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you there? Are you present or are you in the future? Where are you? And on Wednesdays, we talk more about the mind. We're a full service financial planning firm. But on Wednesday, my daughter and I, we talk about the mind, because the mind really is the foundation of financial planning, really. And financial, not only financial planning, but
Of life.
of life.
Yeah.
You know, for growth and
Mhm.
for movement, you
Yeah.
know. Either you moving up or you moving down.
You want me to turn this off? Your papers blowing? Is that affecting you?
No.
No, it's okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, yes, mine. So, I walked into his office today and I have not read this, but I walked into his office and I saw this sheet of paper on his desk and I'm like, oh, what is this? And I just pick it up and read it. And it says the 12 laws of karma.
Yes.
And so he says, all right, let's talk about that on the show today.
Right.
So I say, let's do it. I can talk about
What
this
was the
stuff all
12
day
laws
long.
of karma or the 12 universal laws?
Yes.
Did you pick both of them up?
I only picked this. The colors
Okay.
drew me in. I was like, oh, what is this?
Yes.
Let me read the stuff let me mind your business.
Yes. We always referring to the universal law. You're here
Mhm.
talking about that. But the laws of karma,
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Well, yeah, and no,
Wording.
and maybe, right? So, but I thought it was a great topic. I love that you suggested that we bring it to the show today, especially at the top of the calendar year as we're transitioning into the middle of winter into spring, which I love.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
What have you noticed?
I noticed that the weather. I know the
Beautiful.
weather, and I know that, man, February is like next week.
It is my second favorite month,
I mean, it's coming so. So what's your favorite month?
August.
I should have known. And why is
not?
that? And
Because
why is that?
Goddess Day is in
That's
August.
the month you came on the planet.
Right. I'm
All right.
here.
That's the
And
okay.
then February is my
This
second
time.
favorite.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but just realizing that time is it's really moving, right? And I'm like, wow, the weather is just reminding me that spring. But anyway, so the 12 laws of karma, we are going to run through this next week if we align and come together again before you. If you got it
Yes.
before you again.
Yes.
We will continue this conversation, but today we're going to run through this and it's a very important conversation at the top of this calendar year. I know that it will help you, it will guide you, it will lead you so that your 2023 can be different than your 2022.
So we might not want to run through it. I mean, I know we got less time today because we kind of started late, but yeah,
I like your word choice.
yeah, yeah. Run through it. All right, let's go,
Okay,
daughter.
so I'll start. So it says, let's get to know the 12 laws of karma. I don't know where you got this from, but it says the number one is the great law, sometimes referred to as the law of cause and effect. What you put out, you get back.
Yeah. Now, I've never heard, and a lot of people never heard the great law.
Mhm.
We've heard there's a universal law called the law of cause and effect,
Mhm.
and I mean, like you said, we refer to it as cause and effect, but they call it the great law. I never knew it was called the great law.
The great law, like the greatest love of all, Whitney Houston.
Right.
Yeah.
I just know the law of, cause and effect, but not the great law. I thought all the laws are great to me, but that's
Well, just because you are well studied,
right.
right?
Right.
But here's the thing: as I read that, and I'm hearing you speak, I hear the great law. I believe that 85% of the people don't even realize that laws exist and don't even operate amongst laws.
I mean, you're spot on, daughter.
I think they're more focused on rules. Like,
Yes.
I want to break this rule, or can I break this rule?
Yes.
And the laws trump rules.
Yes.
So
yeah.
when we say the great law, like this is enlightening for 85% of y'all. When we say the great law, your minds may not have even been thinking about laws unless you're thinking about criminal and breaking the law and that kind of stuff. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the real laws.
Real laws. The reason why a law and a rule
Yes.
really, in America and around the world, they kind of fake it, call them laws, because
Mhm.
laws, you can't really change laws.
Yes.
They're immutable. They don't move. There is, I don't care who in office, but rules, what they call in laws,
Mhm.
rules you can change.
Yeah.
You can change the rules of the game.
Mhm.
Some people play. What do you guys having me playing Monopoly?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't get started on that.
Oh goodness.
Oh, my grandson and granddaughter. Oh my
My
God,
children.
they laughed at me.
Oh, my
They were
God.
taking my houses. Anyway, that's another story. So rules, it's like football rules or basketball rules. They change the rules. The rules used to be 3-point line. The rules was this now. Every year they change rules. But in the US, they call them laws, but they're really not laws, because depends on what administration comes in office in the White House, then the tax laws will change.
Yeah.
Like, in 2026, they're saying they're going to roll back to, Trump's tax laws. That's not really laws, they're rules. Because laws, remember how you can always know what we're talking about. When it's a law, like the law of gravity, nobody can change. I don't
Right.
care who in office, who in king.
Right.
If you jump off a bridge, a building, you're going where? Down. That's the laws
Downtown,
of
baby.
gravity. That's a law.
Yeah. So the great law, when it says what you put out, you get back. This is a law, and I'm glad that they listed it as the first law and they titled it as the great law, because this law, if you just adhere to this law, your life will drastically change. If you just adhere to the law that says what you put out, you will get back.
And that's amazing.
And notice the law doesn't say what others see you put out.
Right.
Because a lot of people like to throw the rock and hide their hand.
Right. It's independent.
Right. Or pretend that I'm putting out this and I'm putting out that. No, you aren't, because look at your life.
Right.
Like, you can literally tell what you're putting out. You can literally tell what you're thinking and what you're doing based on your current life experience.
Like a person that weighs 500 pounds. He like, I don't eat nothing. I never eat.
Right. I don't eat.
I
only eat salad. I love asparagus. I just love asparagus and broccoli. Like, bro, what?
Or drunk, saying, I don't drink.
Right.
I don't drink. No, we can tell what you've been doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell somebody that you just had a drink, because we see how you staggering, you falling down.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by
what you put out,
what you put out,
you get back.
And it's so a law. So that really means that really it's impossible to fake it.
Yeah, it can't be no other way.
Now I know why they call it really the great law.
Yeah.
It is the great law, man. You can say, man, what you been doing? I've been studying, man. I've been studying so hard. Oh, what did you pass? Well, I guess you ain't studied hard enough.
Right.
Did you fail? Or, I don't know.
I love it.
It tells you, man, wow, that's amazing. And I guess a lot of people can't handle it, or we don't really look at it like that. I think this should have been a prerequisite for us graduating out of high school.
For life, right? Yeah. And I agree that a lot of people can't handle it, but I believe it's because they aren't focused on this. As we started the show, people are focused on rules, and maybe not so much focused on rules, but most people don't even know that laws exist.
Right.
And so on a smaller scale, they're thinking like, oh, if I can just get by, if nobody catches me. Like, one of the things that always comes to mind is people are so concerned with deceiving people.
Yes.
And beating people.
Right.
And they don't realize that you can deceive people, but you can never deceive law.
Impossible.
And your life is going to literally be a reflection of
based on law,
not people. So
right.
You think you may have gotten away in front of this person or that person, your boss, your lover, whatever the case may be, but your life is a reflection of what you put out.
So we're trying to impress the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Instead of the universe, the law, we're trying to impress them or him or her. Like, my credit is good. My credit is good. We'll see when you get ready to qualify.
Right. Yes. And here's the thing, and then we can move on to the second law as listed here. The thing that comes to mind is you can always do better. You can always do better. So if you're looking at your life right now and you're deciding and you're like, oh shoot, they're saying that my life is a reflection of the things that I have put out there. I don't want this life, or I want a different life. You can make a decision now to put something else out there.
Yes.
You can always decide. I did an exercise within the Warrior Training Camp, and I said, listen, who do y'all want to be this year? Now, who do you want to be? How do you want your world to look?
That's pretty good.
Like, listen, let's wipe the slate clean. How do you want your world to look? So if you're listening to this and you're looking around and you're taking assessment, be empowered to understand that you can do better. You can put different out and get a different result.
I see that segue. That actually is the second law,
Oh my goodness.
the law of creation.
Oh gosh, look at that. I
Yes.
told you, I just picked this up.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so the law of, you want to read it or you want me to read
No,
it?
you read it.
The law of creation. You are the co-creator. Take action to manifest your dreams. Don't wait for things to magically happen.
Who do you want to be?
Who do you want to be? How do you want your world to look?
What's your role?
That's what I said. How do you want your world? Like, it's literally your world. How do you want that to look? How do y'all operate in your world? What is some of the language that you use? What are the activities? What are the behaviors? How do you dress? What do you eat? What do you study? Do you read? What do you do? Do you do drugs? How is your world?
Are you going to be the grown up in the room or the child?
Yeah. Yeah. How is your world?
What's your role?
I
Who you
like
gonna
this,
play?
the law of creation. It has one of those buzzwords, manifest, which a lot of people may hear these days, where it says, take action to manifest your dreams. That sounds kind of dreamy
Yeah,
and
dreams.
woo-woo and loopy. And I love that. I love to be in a dreamy state. However, for you all that are out there listening, you have to understand not to get caught up in the words like, oh, I want to manifest my dreams and just be sitting still because I'm manifesting my dreams, my dreams, my dreams, my dreams, instead of actually taking action,
Because-
right?
Because this says, don't wait for things to magically happen.
Right.
Like I'm waiting for somebody to serve me. I'm waiting for
And
somebody
people
to
get
make
caught
me
up in that.
You know, I remember when I said, you know what, I want to write a book. And I'm like, man, nobody's coming to call me to write it.
Right.
So
Right.
guess what? I want to be an author, but nobody calling me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Guess what? I'm going to be an author.
You
I'm gonna
decided
write a
you're an
book.
author.
So now I'm an author. Isn't
Right.
that something?
Just that easy.
Just that easy. I said, I want to be an author. I want to write a book. Well, is
Mhm.
anybody going to like award me and say, hey, Rob, we want you to write? No. Do it yourself. Okay, I made
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah. I made myself an author.
I made myself be
Yeah.
an author, and I started writing the books.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
And it happens just like that.
Yeah.
So picking up from law number 1, where we talk about the great law, what you put out, you get back, and then going into law number 2, where you are the co-creator. If you decide that you want to get back something different, or you want to get back more, and you don't even have to want to get back something better because your life is not good, and I'm air quoting, if you guys are just listening, I'm using air quotes. You can always want more. You can always do better. So when you think about the law of creation and manifesting your dreams, how empowering is that to know that this is literally a law that states that you can literally create the world that you desire,
That's true.
your world.
That's true.
I think where a lot of people get caught up in is they get so focused on other people's world,
And getting permission.
getting permission from other people,
Mhm,
seeking validation from other people,
Mhm.
wanting other people to join along,
mhm.
and then also trying to beat their point into somebody else's head. I told my people, I said, ain't no arguing in 2023.
I mean, because I remember when I decided to be an author, because no one called me to be an author,
Mhm.
and I had went to writing school. So I said, I got to wait. I got to write in school. I
Mhm.
said, no, I'm going to put my thoughts on paper, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to be an author. And just like that, bam.
You're an author.
I didn't need validation from anybody. I knew enough, you know.
Mhm.
So if you're just joining us for the first time today, we're talking about the 12 laws of karma. And the first law is the great law. The great law. And the second law is the law of creation. This third law is the law of humility. Wow.
Yeah. Be
Think
humble
about
enough
that.
to accept that your current reality is a product of your past thoughts and actions. It sounds like I wrote this.
Ah.
It sounds like I'm just saying I walked in and I saw it on your desk. It sounds like there's something I wrote.
Yeah. Toot, toot, toot,
I'm
toot,
just
toot,
like,
toot the
wow.
horn,
You
toot the
know,
horn,
listen,
toot,
I do
toot,
have the
toot.
gift of knowing.
Toot, toot,
Yes,
toot,
I'm
toot the
tooting
horn.
it, right? So it says, be humble enough to accept that your current reality is a product of your past thoughts and actions. We talked about that.
Yes.
We talked about that when we talked about the great law.
Yes. Yes.
Your past is what got you here.
That's
the things
right.
that you did yesterday, the thoughts that you thought yesterday, the thoughts and the actions that you took 5 minutes ago is what got you right here. 5 minutes ago, you must have said, oh, I see Mr. Henderson and Hyacinth on Facebook Live. Let me click this and watch them instead of eating my lunch or whatever else that you could be doing. And now you are here.
And this is, be humble enough to accept that your current reality is a product of your past thoughts
What do you
and
think of
actions.
that?
What do you mean by when I say be humble enough? I mean, you got to be humble to like surrender, and I guess you got to be really honest and be truthful to yourself. Don't
That's
have
right
an
here.
ego. You know, just say I'm humble. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I did it. I'm caught. I did it.
I did this.
I didn't. This is why this is why I have this.
Yeah.
Instead of saying blaming somebody, no, that's not.
Yeah.
No, they did me wrong. No, I fumbled the ball, and
Yeah.
that's why we can't go forward because I dropped the ball. I ran out for the pass. I dropped it, and that's why we didn't have the 1st and 10. I mean, don't say, hey, they should give it to me. No, you know, be humble, man. Say, okay, yeah, you know, I messed up.
Yeah, I like that.
I guess you really do have to be able to say, I messed up, man.
And using your example of dropping the ball, because sometimes, you know, we get caught up in feeling like, well, it's not, they did this to me, it's their fault, things like that. So using your example, like I literally saw the football play as you were speaking. So let's say you, and this isn't about football, I need you all to zoom out a little bit, but I got to paint this visual the way that I see it. So let's say you and your teammates, y'all are in the little huddle right before, I imagine that this happens in real life, right before you run in a play, and this is how the play is going to be run.
Right.
Like you're in the huddle and you say, this is how it's going to be run. And you get on the field and the quarterback throws the ball. The quarterback does not throw the ball. He does not follow the play that y'all just talked about.
Right.
So now you're in position to catch the ball, but you don't catch the ball.
Right.
Is he wrong?
Who?
The quarterback. Because y'all just talked about this. Y'all were in the huddle, right? Talking about this is the play.
And he's supposed to make the pass.
And he's supposed to make the pass.
And he didn't do it. Well, when you say he's wrong, yeah, he missed the mark.
Right. And it's a beautiful illustration because a lot of times what we do in life is say he's wrong. We just talked about that. It's supposed to be. Now we on the court. Now we on the field fighting our teammate.
Yeah.
We fighting the quarterback.
Right.
We out there brawling. And the sports announcer like, oh my gosh, look at this. They're fighting each other. Right. So instead of saying, oh wait, we had a plan. He deviated from the plan. He threw the ball. I didn't catch the ball, but now I can go move over here.
Right.
Maybe I can run this way. I can do this way. I can change directions. What is that called? Like a juke. I can do that.
Yeah. You can just change
and do something else and make another big play.
Make something out of nothing. You know?
So going back to humility and being honest enough and humble enough to evaluate past experiences, we're not saying that nobody has ever changed the play on you. Like y'all had a play. We said this was how we was going to run it and they didn't do it. We're not saying that happened. It happened. Your reaction to that is what happened, right? So when you're having that level of humility and assessing where you are and what actions you took that got you here, you need to be able to stand right there and say, you know what? He did switch out. And when he switched out, I swung on him instead of me continuing to make another play.
That's true. That's
right?
True. Yeah.
So understand that things happen for you, we like to say to you, but you're going to have experiences and some of them are going to be less than favorable. Some of them are going to be complete opposite.
You got to be able to
adapt. You got to am I swinging on the quarterback or not?
No, you got to be able to adapt.
Right? Okay.
The 12 laws. So those who are, hey, Tracy, how you doing, LJ? How you doing, Shay? So we're talking about the 12 laws. It's 12 of these. Now we just covered 3. The 12 laws of karma. This karma stuff is true. I mean, it's really, really true. And we just want you to recognize it because a lot of people, like Heisey said in the beginning, don't even know this stuff exists. But this is in each and every one of our lives, whether you are conscious of it or not conscious of it. This stuff is really happening. And people who are living and really prospering, they understand these laws and they stay within the boundaries. They know how to react to something because there's rules.
How to respond.
There's laws. There's laws. How to respond. They are laws. These are real laws, man. If you get the laws right, it's like you're having a map to success, a map to creation, a map to humbleness, a map to be able to go forward. The first law, number 1, y'all write these down. The first law was was called the Great Law. The second law of karma, there's 12 of them, the law of creation. The third law is of karma, the law of humility. Now, this fourth law is called the law of growth. Heisey, what is the law of growth?
I might need my glasses for this one.
Here's a bigger light.
Oh, okay. Accept what you can't change or control and focus on what you can. This is the law of personal growth.
Oh, man.
That's deep. And that's kind of in alignment with what we just talked about the quarterback.
But that's kind of hard for a lot of people to, I'm 5'9". No, she questions at all time. 5'8.5".
I think you've reached the age where you start shrinking now. It's natural.
And I've accepted I'm not 7 foot tall. I've accepted that. And when I accepted that, I was able to move on. I didn't keep dwelling in the past. I didn't keep saying, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, whatever. I accepted that. My father was a drunk. I accepted that. He's dead now, God. He's in heaven now, whatever he's going to be, another world. But I accepted that. I'm not still mad at him. Why was he was a drunk? Whatever. I accepted that. I couldn't change it. So when you accept that and you can't change it, man, it's supposed to be some sort of cleanse. It's a clarity. You feel good.
Yeah.
That is the law of growth. That's a sign of growth.
Yeah. I'm glad
Moving
that you
on.
said the word clarity, because a part of that law says, and focus on what you can change.
Yes.
But if you aren't clear, if you haven't achieved that level of clarity through acceptance, then you can't focus, right? It's almost like me trying to clean my glasses off, and I'm like, it's just not something that's going on. Well, they're oily. I can't see clearly. So when you say clarity comes from acceptance.
Mhm.
And that is very, very important for your growth. Like, there is no true growth without clarity.
Because you're right, because I accepted that I was not going to get an inheritance. I didn't come from a wealthy family.
Mm-hmm.
And I accepted that.
Mm-hmm.
I really accepted that, and I couldn't change that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make my father or my mother or whatever be rich to leave me money. I accepted that. I said, okay. So it's like, okay, I got to get it.
Now you're clear.
Now I'm
Now
clear.
you have the clarity.
and then I can change it.
Now you can shift your focus.
That's right. And
Mm-hmm.
I became wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
My children will get an inheritance.
Wait. How much?
No, don't start that.
numbers.
Don't start that. Don't start that. Because it says, listen, okay, it says, accept what you cannot change or control. I can't change. They were broke, okay? And focus on what you can. Broke. And focus on what you can. That's what I did. I started understanding money.
Yeah.
This is how the law
growth.
of personal growth.
Yeah.
I have grown. See,
Yeah.
I'm not blaming them on why y'all ain't doing nothing,
Mhm.
why y'all wasn't this. No. I got it.
Yeah.
it. So I'm going to change that.
And it's powerful with anything in life. So any circumstance, whether it's inheritance, whether it's your current position at work, your current position with your lover, whatever it is, once you reach that level of acceptance, then you can be clear and like, all right, I'm clear here. Now we clear here. Now that we clear here, where do we go from here?
Now you're growing. That's
now
the law
I'm
of
growing.
growth.
And this is a very important law, because a lot of times people get so focused and stuck on focusing on what happened instead of focusing on what is. It just is.
And how you change it.
It is what it is right now. Now what you gonna do, boo?
Yeah. What are you going to do? You're going to stay back there, stay broke,
Right.
broke. Because a
Right.
lot of people stay broke. Because the mama was broke, the daddy was broke, the mama was broke,
Yeah.
they been broke. They was
Been in apartments.
been in the apartment.
I grew up in these apartments.
Been on that.
Why y'all tearing down these apartments?
That's right. Been on
Building
that.
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
We mad. Why y'all putting Whole Foods in the area? It's been
Yeah.
the hood for
Yeah,
30 years.
There's no growth because you
They
ain't
just
changing
up
nothing.
in the area.
Yeah, that's right. No growth. You ain't changing nothing.
Right.
This how it is. This how I am. No. When
Yeah.
you say this how I am, this how I always been, that means you saying you're not growing, because you don't want to brag about this how I am,
Yeah.
especially if you broke. You want to say, okay, let me come out of this.
Yeah.
That's growth. So
Let me see.
the fifth law of karma.
It's the law of responsibility. You are a product of the choices you make and the thoughts you focus on.
Oh man.
You become what you think about most of the time. I like all the yous in this because they ain't say nobody else.
That's
They
right.
said you. Let me
You.
read this again. You are a product of the choices you make and the thoughts you focus on. You become what you think about most of the
Oh man,
time.
that could be a heavy burden, man. People like, not me. Who
Yeah.
told me it was him or her? 'Cause people like to
Yeah.
blame. So the fifth law
The
of
law
karma,
responsibility.
the law of responsibility.
You
You gotta
think
read.
it's
You gotta
easy?
read that one more time. Just read one more
Okay,
time.
one more time. One
One
more
more
time
time.
for the people in the back.
That's right.
Okay, so the law of responsibility is you are a product of the choices you make and the thoughts you focus on. You, you, not me, not we, not they. You become what you think about most of the time. And this law is the law of responsibility. I think this is such an empowering and liberating law.
It is. It's amazing, and I like the word you say, liberating,
Mhm.
because you can stop.
Mhm.
You can't blame anybody else because you take full control. You have the steering wheel of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you didn't think that you could.
Yeah. And go back to that illustration that I gave with the quarterback. Y'all were in a huddle. We on the same team. We said this how it's gonna run. And you got out on the field and you pulled a fast one on me. We're not saying that did not happen. We're not saying that. And this is so important for people because a lot of people, you are stuck where you are because you're focused on the fact that the quarterback switched up the play and you cannot get over that. I'm not saying that it never happened. I'm not saying that your feelings aren't valid. And I hope that you're wise enough to pick up what I'm putting down and removing the quarterback, and you can insert circumstances. Yes, maybe your mama was a drunk. Yes, maybe somebody stole from you. Yes, maybe your husband cheated and beat on. Yes, all of these things happened. The quarterback switched up the play. Y'all was just in a locker room together. But now, what are you focusing on? Are you going to continue to focus on that? The play's over.
Right.
And if you swing on him, now they escorting you off the field.
That's right.
Now they got you on the jumbotron.
You're breaking that law.
Right? Now they
You broke a law.
Forget what we talked about in the locker room, right? Forget he said he was going to throw it to me and he did. Forget all of that. The fact is, you have got to pivot. So when we go to number 5, the law of responsibility, think about areas of your life where you can take more responsibility. And I love that this comes after law number 3, where it talks about humility, and humility is about being honest with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're
humble.
honest with yourself, you can say, okay, it did happen, but how could I have handled that differently? And when it happens again, dressed differently, how am I going to handle it?
You know, I noticed all of this so far. We on from the great law, the creation, number 2, the law of humility, being humble, and the 4th law, the law of growth, right on to the law of responsibility. It just kicks the butt off blaming somebody else.
Yeah. Accountability.
It really does. You don't have no excuse.
Do you think it's hard for people to take responsibility?
Very hard.
Why do you think that is?
Because people always want to crush. They want to lean on somebody. They want to say somebody else did it. Somebody else. This 5th law of karma, the law of karma, law of responsibility is powerful. Now, the 6th law, the law of connection. Wow.
I love this.
Connection. What do you mean by that? Law of connection.
The law of connection. Everything in your life is connected. Every person, everything is connected to you in some way. Everything. There are no coincidences. There is no mistake. You aren't experiencing this just because you are experiencing it, because it's connected to something that you cannot see, and you're going to need it if you get the lesson. If not, you may not see the connection.
Because, you know, when you were saying that, I was thinking about the people that I've come across in my life who have helped me to be and create what I wanted to be and create. I needed other people to be connected with me because they knew something that I didn't know, and I needed to get something from them.
Yeah. What about the experiences that you had previously, and they may have been challenging experiences? Were you able to make the connection in a current experience or a future experience and say, I know how to handle this because I went through this 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 12 months ago, and now I can make the connection of how that prepared me for the present?
Well, I always think about, matter of fact, before my father died in 2011, I thanked him. And he said, why are you thanking me for? I never gave you a dime and I was a drunk. I said, I really thank you because the bigger picture is I watched you and heard your story, and I just want to know the connection that I have with you. I know what not to do. I know you taught me what not to do. You taught me to not beat my wife, to be a drunk. You know what? I've never been drunk in my life. I have drunk phobia. If I had something to drink, I'd never been drunk because my father taught me. I seen the results where it was going to leave him as a result of his action. So that connection was beautiful.
Yeah. The law of connection.
The law of connection.
I like this. Everything in your life is connected. Every person, everything is connected to you in some way. When I reread that, every person and everything is connected to you in some way, I hear the law of oneness. That we're all one. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
That and it's one stream of consciousness. I may be going a little bit deeper, y'all, today, but strap on y'all seatbelts. Y'all missing me. I ain't been here in over a month. But the law of oneness says that there is only one source, one infinite source of consciousness.
That's true. I go with that.
Yeah. So if we're all connected, our behaviors, our actions, the things that we do, the experiences that we have an effect on not only us, not only the people that we can see, but consciousness as a whole.
It does.
Do you agree with that?
It does, because you can a perfect example, what happened with the pandemic. You know, it just put a sour, made people just all collectively feel drained. A lot of people quit their job. A lot of people didn't want to do nothing. It just made you feel like, it just was a downer. We're all connected to it, I don't think a lot of people during the pandemic, people were like, oh, I'm so happy. This is the best time of my life. Everybody was like, we all connected, and we kind of like in mourning. We're, in wonderment.
Collective consciousness. That's what comes to mind. Collective consciousness. It also reminds me of when people think that an idea is theirs. No idea is your idea.
No.
Let me say that. It's not your idea. Nobody stole this idea from you. An idea is birthed. When an idea comes into consciousness, whoever is tapped in onto that frequency will receive that idea. So let's say on the stream of consciousness, the idea for flying shoes comes about, and you may be tapped in and to that frequency, and we know each other. And also there may be someone in Kalamazoo that's tapped into that frequency, and we don't know that person. We can sometimes make the mistake. You've been in my office reading my notes. You saw that I was planning a shoot. No. Yes. You know what I mean? But it's the frequency. Whereas the person in Kalamazoo has the same idea. We know that they didn't steal that idea from us, because as humans, we believe in like physical, and we're like, oh, this person is so far away. They could not have stolen my idea.
Right.
I know I may be getting a little deep. Those of you who are meant to get it can get it. No idea is yours. Everything is connected. I like this, a law of connection. We may want to explore that a little bit deeper.
Yes.
Because it has many layers to that.
In essence of time, we got to go to number 7.
Okay. All right.
Number 7.
So
I like number 7 also.
The law of 7 is the law of focus. It is impossible. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my glasses.
There's 12 laws. Now we on number 7. The law of focus.
It is impossible to focus on 2 things at once. Focus on higher values like love and peace to prevent lower thoughts like jealousy and anger. It is impossible to focus on 2 things at once. Focus on higher values like love and peace to prevent lower thoughts like jealousy and anger.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. So you don't want to
vibrate higher,
because if you start mixing it up, man, it's going to be like spaghettis. You know what I mean? It's going to be confusing. It could be anxiety. That's why they tell you to meditate, to focus, to focus, zero in, be in the oneness, be in the present. Because when you don't focus, man, it could be helter skelter because your mind is just dotting all off just all everywhere, and they call it anxiety. You can have an anxiety attack because your mind will start dotting all them thoughts. You know what I mean?
I love that they gave the example of love and peace, because that is such a blanket. That's almost like like cod liver oil. Back in the days, your parent used to give you cod liver oil for everything.
Everything.
It's everything. I don't know what you got, but take this cod liver oil.
Take some cod liver oil.
It's going to cure everything,
That's
right? Or that Tussin, that Robitussin.
Robitussin.
Right. It's going, whatever you got, your ankle hurt, here goes some Tussin.
Or some vinegar.
Right.
Take some vinegar.
So I love that they gave the examples of love and peace, because staying at the vibration of love and peace literally will shift your focus so that all the other stuff is not at the forefront of your focus, and everything else will kind of work itself out.
Yes.
We got to rush through this, but
right.
We'll come back to that.
It's 12 law. If you just joined us, hey, Jerome, what's up, brother? Carol, Damian Nelson. We're talking about the 12 laws of karma. You can all Google them also. You can see them, but it's so interesting. And I want you all to zero in and have a conversation with yourself and zero in, because it's all about you. Everything we're talking about is about you.
Nobody else. It is you. The law of giving and hospitality. Law number 8, without a selfless nature, spiritual growth is impossible. Give to the things you believe in. Do you want me to run through these and then we pick up on this next week? Because I know you have an appointment. Okay, so what we'll do is, I guess we may pick up on them next week and then go into some other stuff.
Yeah, because I want to talk about the other 12 universal laws too.
Okay, so law number 8 is the law of giving and hospitality. Without a selfless nature, spiritual growth is impossible. Give to the things that you believe in. Law number 9, the law of here and now.
Let's stop right there. Let's go. Yeah, zero in that. The law of here and now. What did it say?
I was just thinking about this morning, earlier today. The law of here and now. Embrace the present. Let go of past grudges and resentment.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, embrace and go back to that football analogy. Go back to it. Quarterback, he did something that I was gonna say alley-oop, but I think that's basketball, right?
That is basketball.
That's basketball. Okay, the quarterback didn't follow the play. What you gonna do? You still mad? You still angry?
The law of here and now.
Enjoy the present.
That's right. That's all we really have. If you worrying about something that happened to you in the 2nd grade, come on, man.
And we're not asking you to sweep it under the rug. If you even follow the orders of these laws as we have been reading them, if you go through the process, by the time you get to law number 9, you can actually let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You will literally be at the place because you would have done the things such as realizing that what you put out, you get back. You would have focused on you
Growth.
would have been humble and
Responsibility.
honest. You would have taken responsibility. So now by the time we get to the point of saying, hey, focus on the present, like stop reliving the past, you're able to do that. But a lot of times people want to skip steps,
Right.
and you like, I just want to get here, but you haven't done this work, and that's why you're having such a challenging time. All right, the law number 10 is the law of change. Doing the same thing over and over will get you the same results.
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of people victim of that, right?
Over and over and over. Who is that? Marshawn Lynch? I love that.
Yeah, man. Over and over and over. You trying to lose weight, you keep eating the same burgers.
To get different results, change something. Something. The same burger. You can't keep getting the number 3 extra sauce off the broiler.
Oh man.
That double whopper.
And get a different result.
Onion rings instead of fries.
Oh man, isn't that amazing? You know, I'm doing, always doing some talent on potential.
Mm-hmm.
My potential. So right now I'm on the 3rd week of only eating one day.
Once a day.
Once a day.
Wow. How do you feel?
You know, I'm so shocked because I'm okay. I thought I'd be hungry, a headache, but I'm good, you know?
If you eat a lot of fruits, like luscious fruits, water fruits, as you break that fast at the start of you'll be doing yourself.
When you said break this fast, it made me think about Ramadan. So I'm like doing Ramadan.
Yeah.
Because I only eat sundown.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
When is Ramadan coming up, you know?
It should be in the spring. It's usually around the equinox.
Okay.
But yeah, do it with luscious fruits because the fruits are what starts your cells to revitalize and turn over.
Cool.
Okay. All right. The law of patience and reward, law number 11.
Patience and reward. I mean, a lot of people are victims of this because they want it now. I want it now.
I know.
And we say, okay, you want to marinate, save, and invest, plant a seed.
Give it to
5 years too long. Where you gonna be? The law. What's that law?
The law of patience and reward.
That is a karma.
Be consistent. Look, karmic. Be consistent with your karmic deeds. Long-term rewards come from accumulated good karma. I believe this 1,000%.
Yeah.
Be consistent. So this means that just because you do good right now, it almost reminds me of planting the seed and expecting to eat the fruit tomorrow.
Exactly.
So I do good right now. Why is this happening to me? Come on, you still got that stuff, that junk that's back there, that residue, right? So consistently plant good seeds. If you consistently plant seeds, when it is time to eat, you will have a variety of things.
So many adults. I cannot believe so many adults have no patience in terms of wealth building, savings, and investing. They want it now.
Yeah.
And any little hiccup, if it go down, they're like, I don't want it anymore. I mean, just like a kid. I mean, a grown up. I mean, really, all wealth building takes time. Either you're going to spend the money or it's going to be in a wealth mode. And if you spend the money, you ain't got nothing. So you already know what the future's going to look like. But if you plant it like a farmer, it's going to take time, but it's going to be there. And 10 years go by, you're gonna be like, oh man, I'm so glad that I planted that. Now look at it now. It's more than I had. And you didn't spend it, and now you got it. Now you can spend it and do what you want to. You always want to be planting. So that patience is amazing.
It's amazing. It's interesting. It reminds me of a proposal that I sent to a new client yesterday for her nephew. He's 4 years young. And she shared that his mom, buys him all the shoes and things like that. So she wants to do something for him. So I said, listen, if you all put away $1,500 a year, just $1,500 a year for 20 years, you would have put in $30,000. In 20 years, the cash value is projected to be $48,000. That's when he's 24. However, when he's 44, the cash value is projected to be $204,000.
Wow.
All you got to put in is $1,500 a year.
Wow.
Right now while he's 4. You buying that on Jordans.
Yeah.
That's $100 a month.
Wow.
And I thought about it and I sent it yesterday. And as I pressed send, I said, this is a slam dunk. If she don't take this, it's going to say a lot.
Yeah. A lot of
you
people.
Put in 30,000 because most of you might be 44 right now. How would you feel if you had $204,000 tax free?
Exactly. You'd be like, oh, I'm so glad.
Right.
That's that inheritance,
Right. Would you be like, oh man, I know you're looking at the clock. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Last one. We'll see it next week. Last one, the law of significance and inspiration. This is law number 12. We are all born for a purpose. The gifts you share can have a powerful impact on the world. Law number 12. the law of significant inspiration. That's an important law because sometimes you can get caught up in what you see with your human eye and what you're experiencing, and you can believe that your life is limited, and your life is not limited.
Yeah, especially if you're in the hood or if you're somewhere and there's
Mhm.
no sidewalks or palm trees, and it looks like, combat or whatever, you feel like, oh my God, this is it for me.
Yeah, you have significance and purpose. There is a reason why you were born. There is a reason why you still rolled over and air came like through your lungs. You can breathe. There is still purpose there.
That
So
law of responsibility, that law of growth. So I want you all, if you missed this, I want you to just go to Google and put in the 12 laws of karma. All the stuff will come up. And then you look at it and think about it and have a conversation with your loved ones, your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, and
your
just talk about it.
children,
Your
your
children.
children,
Yeah.
and do us a huge favor. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a 1 in the comment section so that we'll know that you enjoyed it and you're back and you're looking forward to next Wednesday.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
Shay, I'm going to be in Tallahassee tomorrow night, girl. I'm going to see you and my son, okay?
This is your second time going to Tallahassee.
Yeah,
in like
yeah.
3 months, 6 months. Look at you.
I think I was in November. Yeah, I got to look at that property,
Oh,
But
goodness.
I'll be there. I'll call you guys tonight, I mean, and Shay had made some beautiful, like some mugs. And
Mm.
she made one. I got the house. It's
Mhm.
just like this. It's for you.
Oh, wow.
It is you. It looks
it's-
just like that.
Does it say that?
Yes.
It says it is you?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Who's
Yeah.
it for? You?
You.
Oh, you didn't give it to me.
I forgot it.
Oh,
The
so
house.
don't think I'm rude. He
She-
just didn't give it to me
She
yet.
just sent it. We just got it yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
We just got it. Same for all of us.
Good.
Very creative, Shay.
Thank you in advance.
Look at my neighbor, Renee Willer.
Mrs.
Oh my
Willer.
goodness.
Yes.
All the way from the ATL,
Atlanta.
Atlanta. All right. Love you. Love
And she's
you. love
watching
you.
on YouTube. That's what that red thing means. Yes,
Okay.
that red icon. Awesome.
All
Thank
right,
y'all.
Cool.
All right. Well, be sure to share, and we shall be back next week. And Shay, I'll call you or send you a text message when I get my gift. But thank you in advance. All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.